think, one of the things that I feel uncomfortable with sometimes, but it's a reality, is that I'm like them. I grew up in San Bernardino. I grew up on the west side. I lived at 1288 Davidson Avenue. It's my home. I live in San Bernardino, and it's kind of our family business. Some people, they grow up being restaurateurs, and that's their family business. For us, it's education, and it's been here in San Bernardino.
It's very inspirational that she accomplishes things at every level that she's been at. She was raised in this community and decided to stay in this particular community. She's obviously had countless opportunities to go elsewhere because somebody of her talent has a lot of opportunities. But she's chosen to live here. She owns a home here. Her parents or her family, I think, all stay in this community. And I think that's important in this instance because she's providing service to a community that she's a part of.
In this community, I see a lot of people of color, and they remind me of my family. And so when I see parents struggle, when I see students struggle, I think of, how my family has struggled throughout the years. And if there's something that I can do, I'm in a position to do it, then I need to do that.
I think Dr. Rodriguez realized very early in her career that in order to be a successful educator and have students have success in the institutions of school, that there were a lot of needs that had to be met. In other words, it wasn't just a math or a reading problem.
We know that there are many needs in this community. And so, if people are struggling for food, shelter, electricity, basic needs, how can their child learn? So, I've been very much about the whole child, educating and making sure that they have what they need.
I think she was a great candidate for the Distinguished Service Award, given her contributions to education in so many capacities.
We now created OSR 1000. And so with that, we created that about 3 years ago as we were in the pandemic. And so our goal was to reach 1,000 homes in one day, bringing in community. And so we did home visits to check on our families to see, what was going on, what was impeding their ability to go to school, especially when it was online, it was at home. And so we found that there were a lot of needs.
They meet with these students and then bring them back to the school. I believe the retention rate for the next day, following the day where the Operation Student 1000, the people that go out, I believe something like 70% of students were back to school the next day.
But one of the things that, probably hit me the most as far as that particular day that we went out there was a family that was recently homeless. And so they actually were able to get into a home. And so they had lived there for about 6 months or so, but they didn't have anything. And so we went to go visit, and Dad came out and he says, "I'm not homeless." And he kind of hits the wall outside. He says, "This is a house. I'm not homeless." And we said, "No, sir, we understand that. We just want to see if there's anything that you need." Very proud gentleman. He went back inside. His wife came out and she said, "Please excuse my husband." I said, "No, we totally understand." She said, "But we do need things." She says, "We need beds for our kids." She says, "We do need, we have some clothes and we have food, but if you could help us with beds, we would really appreciate it." And so later that day, we were able to, with Community Action Partnership, we were able to secure beds for those kids in their new home. And so, we have to meet people where they're at. When there's a need and we can provide it, then we need to. I do this work because I love it. So for other people to recognize the efforts and contributions that I'm able to make to our community makes me feel just really, just a lot of gratitude. I've had people tell me, like, that's really, that's amazing that you were, where you started and then where you've ended up. But for me, it's just, it's what I love to do. And so, when I think about, all the families that I've been able to serve and all the students that I've been able to see grow up and, accomplish wonderful things, I'm really proud that I've been able to be a part of their life.